Jeffcom 911.
The postman was out in front of my home, and two girls just robbed him at gunpoint. So they're armed. Oh my God, they're in his truck.
They're in the truck?
They're in his truck.
A postal worker in Lakewood, Colorado has just been approached by two teen girls, one flashing a gun, demanding his keys before running off.
Present robbery at gunpoint, South Oak Street.
Hey, let me see your hands! Let me see your hands!
The postal worker tells an officer the suspects were just little girls.
Female black hoodie, jeans, headed towards Dakota.
When you say young, are you talking teens, 20s?
Early teens.
Early teens?
Okay, I'm Jesus Christ, a little kid.
One of the girls, 17-year-old Mariana Martinez. She's the one who had the gun. Investigators say her 13-year-old sister tagged along.
I looked in the mirror and that's when I saw the second female, and that's when she's pulled out the pistol like that.
On this day, the decision to bring a gun.
Shots fired by police! Shots fired by police!
Would cost Mariana her life. Police would fire more than 20 bullets, hitting her at least 10 times. But the story does not end there. It also involves a wounded officer, a law enforcement agency refusing to hand over police video, and a court battle for that body camera footage.
She's got a handgun pointed at us. We got 3 officers that fired shots. She's hit multiple times.
Thank you.
Okay.
This one caught my attention because the story that the police told the first day to the press changed on the second day.
That's Anita Springsteen. She is a civil rights attorney, but she was also a city councilor for Lakewood, Colorado when the shooting happened. And in 2023, she contacted me at Scripps News concerned about what went down. She wanted our help finding out what happened. And she had a lot of questions, especially given how police initially portrayed the incident.
In the beginning, they said that when they caught up with her, that she shot at them.
The police did say that.
My name is John Romero, Johnromero. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Lakewood Police Department.
The day of the shooting in March 2023, a police spokesperson repeated multiple times on camera that the suspect, a teen girl, had fired her weapon at police and that an officer had also been shot.
The suspect was armed and began firing at our agents. The suspect began firing at agents immediately. Our agents returned fire. The suspect was shot and one of our agents was shot. Then again, one of our agents was hit by the suspect during the shooting.
But later that day, the police agency changed course, issuing a new statement saying the girl had only pointed her gun at officers. We later learned she never fired it.
Right away, I was thinking, how did we get the story that wrong from the start? So it made me suspicious. I wanted to know more information. And a couple of people in the community had reached out to me, my constituents, asking what was going on, what had happened. And the city just wouldn't give us information.
We know others initially wanted answers too, since an attorney drafted this letter on behalf of the teen and her estate, complaining that the police department had potentially acted with gross negligence. It also referenced that officers fired close to 30 shots.
And that's when I became even more concerned, because to me this was like, she's 17 years old. That sounds like a scene out of Scarface. So that's when I asked to see the body cam footage.
And did they show you the body camera footage?
They did not.
A little over 5 months after the shooting, a special critical incident review team, working under the authority of the district attorney, reviewed the case, and the district attorney found the shooting to be justified, saying a reasonable person would believe it was necessary for the officers to defend themselves with deadly physical force. The district attorney did not file criminal charges, but that team didn't release the video either. We filed a formal request with the police department, thinking it would be a simple ask. Colorado has a law that requires a police agency to release body-worn camera footage within 21 days of a request if someone has filed a complaint of misconduct, like the letter sent to Lakewood by the teen's estate. Getting access to such video often helps the public get clarity on high-profile incidents, sometimes totally affirming an officer's actions, and other times raising questions about the level of force. This is the actual form I filled out, requesting the police report, video, photos, and body-worn camera footage. And this is the denial I received from a Lakewood city attorney a little over a week later. Police did eventually release some of the records I requested about the incident, like photos, reports, and police drone videos showing the scene, but they still refused to release the body camera footage from the officers who fired the deadly shots.
Basically, they said I couldn't see the footage because Mariana was a kid. But it's exactly because she was a teenager that we felt it was really important to see this footage. So we got our Scripps News attorney involved for what would be an important and long fight. So this is where the shooting actually happened?
Yes.
In 2023, former city councilor Anita Springsteen came to this automotive shop in her Lakewood, Colorado community. She snapped these photos trying to make sense of what happened in front of the business, where 3 officers confronted Mariana Martinez and fired more than 20 rounds after they said the teen girl pointed a gun at them. One officer suffered a wound to the face.
It was a concern to me that they were right in front of a business where people were working right behind them, and there are bullets flying all over the place.
Scripps News obtained internal affairs investigation records detailing the events of the shooting and outlining the department's use of force policy. Those records include this letter from the chief of police issued 6 months after the shooting, showing the chief called the use of force objectively reasonable and in compliance with the law and department policy and procedure.
And I want this community to be safe.
Springsteen says she had been advocating for months to see the police body camera footage for herself.
It may very well be that there is absolutely no question about what had to happen there. But I think that the city should be forthcoming in that case about what occurred.
When she asked for access, she says she was denied.
How frustrating was that you were unable to get information from the city for which you were serving as a city councilor?
It's extremely frustrating. Local government owes a duty to the people that they represent to be transparent, to give information when it's requested. In this particular case, there was a state law.
Black Lives Matter!
In Colorado, there is a law that requires agencies to hand over body camera footage from incidents in which someone has filed a complaint against police.
They shot me, I think, with a rubber bullet.
The state enacted it following protests related to the high-profile police killing of George Floyd in Minnesota and after the controversial Colorado death of Elijah McClain. That's the case in which a local prosecutor initially declined to file criminal charges, but months later, the state pursued a criminal case against several first responders.
I do remember seeing body camera footage being released now.
Former state representative Leslie Herod sponsored the legislation known as the Enhanced Law Enforcement Integrity Act.
Describe for me, what was this law that you pushed for?
The key was we wanted unedited body cam footage released in a decent amount of time so that there couldn't be a narrative that was put in place that, quite frankly, was built up by folks as opposed to reality and the truth. Sometimes we quite frankly see it looking like someone was pulling out a gun. When the footage is released quickly and completely, the conversation stops there. We've also seen in places where maybe law enforcement has acted outside of the scope of their badge, and then that officer and possibly that agency does have to be held to account.
We are interrupting regular programming to bring you breaking news.
New video now shows
Body cam.
2 different body camera angles.
It's tough to watch, but it's important to understand just what happened here.
laws vary around the country, but body camera video has often provided clarity in many types of incidents throughout the United States.
The video shows officers shooting a teen after he refused to drop a gun.
He refuses multiple orders to drop it.
Go. Whoa! You better put it down, bro! I'm just trying to go home.
Don't want to do it. Jail, please.
What you want? Shots fired! Shots fired!
In Buffalo, New York, for example, footage showed a suspect dragging an officer with his car before the officer fired deadly shots.
You're gonna kill me, bro.
Supporting the officer's version of events. In other cases, body camera footage led to an officer's discipline.
Let's stop. Come on. Come on.
I'm going home.
In Loveland, Colorado, for example, footage released months after the fact showed an officer confronting an elderly woman with dementia and breaking her arm, and that led to the officer's arrest and conviction. In Lakewood, even though investigators found the officer's actions were justified, police still wouldn't release the footage. So Scripps News teamed up with an attorney who filed a lawsuit against the city in early 2024.
Why did you take this case?
I believe strongly and believe strongly today that you were entitled, Scripps was entitled to receive this footage within 21 days of requesting it, and that the city of Lakewood's refusal to provide it to you was unlawful.
Steve Zansberg and the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press took our case to court.
So the reason why it's so important for the public to have access to the actual body-worn camera footage, as the statute provides, is so that we can have faith that what government officials tell us happened actually happened. And that's true whether or not what they tell us is confirmed by that footage or refuted by that footage. Either way, it serves a public function.
People might be thinking, look, the police department already ruled that this was a justified shooting. The case had been reviewed. Why pursue legal action? Why not just take them at their word?
We have an independent right, we the people, to review the documents, the old Ronald Reagan line, trust but verify. We don't trust our government officials without having the right that this statute provides us as citizens to review the documents and assess for ourselves whether or not the internal review process or the critical incident review team reached the appropriate conclusion.
Zansberg made the same arguments for transparency in court.
The statute requires Lakewood Police to provide the requester with, quote, all unedited video and audio.
The city of Lakewood, meanwhile, continued to argue against releasing the footage, saying it would violate the teen girl's privacy, arguing that the girl's family did not want the footage to be released.
The body-worn camera footage of the shooting death of a juvenile decedent should not be released against the wishes of her family.
Months after the shooting, we tried to reach out to family members, but the people who answered the door said they didn't want to speak with us. A trial court and an appeals court ultimately ruled in Scripps News' favor, finally granting access to the footage more than 2 years after Mariana was killed.
It's unfortunate that this type of litigation took this long. It should not have.
Ultimately, do you feel this was worth it?
Yes, I think ultimately we obtained, again, a good published precedent that will guide, hopefully, not only future trial court judges, but police departments throughout the state.
We thought we would finally get access to the footage, but it turned out there were more hurdles we had to go through before we would finally see what led up to Mariana's death and how one officer ended up getting wounded.
On the day 17-year-old Mariana Martinez is accused of using a gun to hold up a United States postal worker, multiple Lakewood police officers rushed to the scene.
We are not going to show you the moment that shots were fired, but we fought for this video so that you could see exactly what happened. So we are going to show you everything that led up to the shooting. The video shows Mariana Martinez running from police while talking on a cell phone. Then she slows down and stops in front of a garage, and she's surrounded by 3 police officers.
Police shout to her repeatedly to put her hands up, and from the time the audio starts recording on the body camera footage, you can hear the specific command at least 5 times.
Ground! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Taser! Get it! Hands up!
An officer has his taser in one hand, but when the teen pulls a gun and points it at police, all 3 officers use deadly force, firing more than 20 rounds, striking the 17-year-old at least 10 times.
Ground! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Taser! Get it! Hands up!
We shared the footage that took nearly 2 years to obtain with former city councilwoman Anita Springsteen.
Part of my question, again, is why were we not permitted to see it? It looks to me like she pointed a gun at them and they shot her.
Is it satisfying to be able to see this footage finally?
I mean, it's sad. I still wonder if there's something else that could have been done to detain this person.
Hey, glove up.
The video also shows the moments an officer realizes he's been struck and the confusion about what hit him and how.
Hey, he's got a gunshot wound to the chin. It grazed you, man. I don't think it went in.
Did one of us graze you, bro?
No, that was her.
One of the other officers who fired shots also wonders out loud if the injured officer, Matthew Weems, may have been hit by friendly fire.
Just hoping I'm not the one that hit Weems. I know there was a little bit of a crossfire.
A spokesperson initially said the teen girl shot the officer. This video is from a press conference that same day.
Then again, one of our agents was hit by the suspect during the shooting.
Police have since said they believe ricocheting shrapnel from another officer's gunfire caused his injury, and an investigation found no evidence shots were fired by the teen.
Even for the police, it's important to release the body cam footage because they were confused about what happened.
How important is this tool for the community to be able to check in on what's going on or what happened in a case?
Body-worn cameras just brings another level of, bringing a certain level of clarity, a certain level of transparency.
Umberto Cardinal is with the nonprofit, nonpartisan National Policing Institute, an organization that helps law enforcement agencies determine best practices, including, he says, having a clear policy about the release of body-worn camera footage after an officer-involved shooting.
There are times where, as a police chief, you're wrestling with, releasing it, but trying to respect the wishes of the family members that are affected by it. It goes back to clearly communicating. If it's not clearly articulated, if it's not clearly in policy, that's where I think you get the distrust, because at that point you fill in the blanks.
The Lakewood Police Department declined an interview, but its policy for releasing records does refer to a general rule that juvenile information is confidential and prohibited from release. In an email, a spokesperson told Scripps News just because the video in question depicts Lakewood Police Department agents acting in a justified manner, that didn't supersede a family's interest in not having their juvenile loved ones' tragic final moments broadcast to the world. Lakewood Police gave public commendations to all 3 officers for their actions the day of the shooting. Scripps News confirmed the attorney who sent a complaint letter to Lakewood after the shooting on behalf of Mariana's estate never took action to file a lawsuit and no longer represents the estate. Still, after 2 years, there is new light shed on a very dark day, helping the community better understand what happened that led to the violent death of a teen girl.